online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Just lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Jimmy Butler, y'all. Wow. 41 as the Heat go on a 39-14 third quarter run. Display. 1-0 Heat's over the Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals. Good one in hockey last night, if you were able to stay up for it as well. The Lobos beat the Aggies in baseball. And good Wednesday to you. It's the opening drive. Glad we're in your ear on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, what's good?
What it do?
You all right?
Yeah.
So, we'll make a list yesterday. Jimmy Butler's not on the superstar. He's on the star list. And I think he's still on the star list. But he's making a case in this postseason where if he carries this team to an NBA championship, and he may, does he have an opportunity to upgrade to the top list?
Jimmy Butler's a superstar right now already.
So you've got him on. So yesterday he wasn't on that list. He was on that second shelf list.
He was the first name I wanted to put on it.
Okay. Oh, you can if you want. It's your list.
Jimmy Butler is the best two-way player in the game.
Okay.
He brings an edge that not a lot of guys have in that league. We talk about there's a lot of good players, there's a lot of star players. There's not a lot of players like Jimmy Butler, who he's not your friend. He doesn't like you. Defensively, he puts in the work. And the way he scores is actually Kobe-esque. Did that man hit a three-pointer last night? Nope. Man scored 41 points. 27 of those points coming in the second half. And Jimmy Butler, career 40-point games. Regular season, 0. Playoffs, 5. Man's superstar.
He, you think he's a superstar? You got him at superstar level? You got him. I'll tell you what the list was yesterday.
I think he's on his way.
The list was Giannis, LeBron, KD, Steph, Luka, and Jokic.
He's done more than Jokic other than win an NBA MVP. He's gone in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, no, look, I'm not. I don't know that I'm passionate against it. I just know when we sat here yesterday, he was the first guy on the next shelf list. Him, Embiid, and Ja.
And I think they're on their way.
Is Jimmy Butler there?
So is it just he has to win a championship?
I don't know. I mean, it's just a subjective list.
It is a subjective list, but when we're just looking at players in a league.
I don't have a problem putting him there, actually.
That's true, because
really
we
like
talked
him.
a lot about superstars who did not win championships.
Well, I'm going to tell you the majority of the superstars haven't won championships. Yeah. Well, no, not the majority of them. 2 of the 5. 2 of the 6. Luka and Jokic. That's not the majority. No. Giannis, LeBron, KD, and Steph have.
Like, this guy is everything people scream the NBA doesn't have.
Look, I don't have a problem with it. Fine, let's add him. 7. I'm good with it.
That was
I have
just,
no problem.
Like, that second half shouldn't have happened for the Boston Celtics.
Absolutely shouldn't have happened.
And yet here we are looking at a team that now their star in Jason Tatum, he was shut down in the second half, has to look at himself and go, man, how can I match that intensity? Because we've seen him go toe-to-toe with Giannis. Now, the Bucks are a big team. They were trying to play physical. There's a different edge that the Heat bring to the game.
The Heat have had this defensive-minded edge. The Heat have had this tough edge to them for a long time. When they were winning, they had something. I'm going before LeBron James got there. That was kind of their persona, right? They were tough. They were going to make you go through them physically. That's who they were. And did they lose it for a minute? Maybe, but I don't know that they ever lost. That was their personality. They just might not have been that good for a second. That's what got them to the NBA Finals 2 years ago, the bubble year, and that's what's got them back. Because if you go down their roster and you go down their box score and you go down and say, all right, I kind of, I got the Jimmy Butler thing, I get that, but who else you got? Who else makes you say, "Oh yeah"? Because PJ Tucker. I mean, he's a role player on a lot of good teams. Does Bam Adebayo do it for you? Maybe. Are you completely sold on Gabe Vincent? Do you love Tyler Hero? Unless you're one of our callers, Strus. I mean, so yeah, that's what they're built on, and that's why I think it was last week when I sat here and made the claim that I think Eric Spoelstra is by far the most underrated coach, maybe in the history of this game, but certainly now one of the best coaches in the NBA now, if not the best.
Ding, ding, ding. He's been at the core of that with his ascension through that franchise, having the backing of Pat Riley to help get him through those first year or two with the Heatles, and then he locked in, and the track record that he has with different stars doing it differently. And the LeBron, Dwayne Wade teams are completely different beast than the Jimmy Butler teams we've seen over the last few years. And Miami's starting backcourt, they're undrafted players. They're
amazing.
And for Bam Adebayo, he's morphing into Draymond Green. He's like, offense, don't need it. I'm just going to block shots. He's been way too passive in the postseason. And you're like, oh, is this going to come back to hurt them? But he brings that edge defensively. Locked in, had 4 block shots, only 10 points. But you know what? Draymond Green is a really good basketball player, and you wonder a team like the Heat that don't necessarily have the shooting, do they need his offense?
Well,
look,
there's a place for guys like that. Okay, there's a place for guys like that. Do you think that Draymond Green's made a hell of a career out of not being a great scorer? You think
yeah, but he's surrounded by 2 of the best we've ever seen.
100% he is.
You watch that first half, and you're like, can the Heat survive like this? With him being passive
and the answer is
not impactful. It's because they got Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and the answer is yes. Jason Tatum was good last night, and he's an emerging star himself. 29 points in 44 minutes for the Celtics. They got 24 points from Jaylen Brown, so their 2 stars were very good. I think Peyton Pritchard's found a spot there, by the way. I was wondering where the former Oregon star or best friend of Anthony Mathis, however you want to refer to him as, was going to fit in with this and how his game would transcend to the NBA. I think his game has transcended incredibly well to the NBA, and he plays a big part in what they do. When he's on shooting, and last night, what did he hit? 4 of 11 from three-point. I thought he hit some big ones, missed some that they could have had. I like his part. Look, I don't think this series is over. I told you I had the Warriors and the Heat going in, and I'm going to stay with the Warriors and the Heat. But the Celtics are nice. They're constructed. I just think physicality in depth and who the Heat are and the Jimmy Butler piece. This may be Jimmy Butler's time. And he's got a path now. There's no LeBron in his way. There's no Giannis in his way. When you look through, there might be a Luka or a Steph in his way, right? But when you look through, there's no dominant team right now. Typically there's that guy, right? There's been LeBron for years. Well, you got to go through LeBron. You got to go through the best player. And then last year you got to go through Giannis. There really is, if you're down to the Final Four, there isn't that guy left.
No, there's not that guy. These teams are all very equal in the moments that they show you an absolute value. They all have a star or a superstar
or a
level
bench
player on it. and for Peyton Pritchard, they can't survive with him in that role. What they missed last night was the physicality of Al Horford and Marcus Smart, which that's a huge thing.
Well,
to go into that game
and
not have those 2 players.
Yeah.
Because Al Horford, Marcus Smart help with that third quarter, help with the physicality, help when the game got tough in the second half. Because you want Marcus Smart on the floor, not Peyton Pritchard, when the Miami Heat are doing nothing but going downhill. And you mentioned Jason Tatum. He's going to respond because he's that good, but he better take that personally. 8.6 turnovers in the second half. He was not good.
Yeah, let's not forget they were without Marcus Smart and Al Horford. And I just nice win, good win, not a season-clinching win or a series-clinching win. I don't even think a statement win. I think a Game 1 win. It was a big third quarter. Assuming, I was surprised when I heard both those guys were out yesterday. I think you probably were too, and I'm going to guess the Celtics might have been a little surprised. You take 2 big components out of a lineup going into a conference final, it is going to hurt you. It's going to affect you, and right now, I think the Heat are pretty much full strength, don't you?
Well, Kyle Lowry.
All right,
been playing
Kyle
some.
Lowry. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
He was a big missing piece to the Heat.
Yep. Would Horford and Smart be
They've been able to play without him most of the playoffs.
It's been that way for a minute, yeah.
So like
This-
they
this
kind of
was
settled
sudden.
in. Like, all right,
Yeah.
we don't have Lowry. That was, I think, day of. They found out they weren't having
he
Horford
done?
yesterday. It was health and safety protocols.
No, Lowry done.
Yeah, they're not. There's no need to rush him back. Even when he comes back, I think he should be a part of the second unit for the Heat at
Well, the
this
way they're
point
playing now, yeah.
in time. But even without Horford and Smart, where you see that you're missing that physicality, just the toughness that they can bring in those moments, Boston should still have 2 of 3 best players on the floor.
Brown
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown should be the best players on the floor outside of Jimmy Butler. And they weren't when it mattered. But I expect Boston to respond, and this is going to be a really good series.
All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to find us today. 505-246-0610. You can find us on the email device thing, Jeff at sportsanimalaBQ.com, JJ at sportsanimalaBQ.com. And on the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. Follow him because he's a great follow. Facebook, the OD in the AM. We are on television there. Well, kind of on your Facebook there and on your television. Comcast Channel 26 on our Facebook page. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. And you can go to ProView Networks YouTube page as well and watch our show. Amory's got you on the radio side. Guest list today, 8:30 this morning, Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. Wrapping up the high school sports season, which wrapped up with championship weekend this past. We will go through baseball and softball and track and field and look ahead. Maybe get into some other stuff as well, as now everything starts looking forward to football, which will open up here in a few months. 9:30 this morning, we're going to Salt Lake City. Josh Sushan is the voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes. Topes are in Salt Lake City. They have a day game today. Yesterday was the debut of Robo-Umps, the electronic computerized balls and strikes. How did that go in day one? We'll talk to him about that. Rocky star Chris Bryant is down with the Isotopes, so we'll talk to him about how that went as well. So looking forward to talking some baseball coming up at 9:30 with Amory's favorite, Josh Sushan. Fair?
All on in with the Topes, man.
Yeah. You doing the game today?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I do it during
Pack
the week.
a lunch.
I packed a lunch.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, more NBA. The lottery was held yesterday. The Lakers are asking a question of everybody who is applying for that job. We're going to get into the football stuff. One team in the big leagues hit 5 home runs in an inning yesterday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service.
Tiger Woods warming up for his practice at Southern Hills in Tulsa for the PGA tomorrow. We're going to go to Southern Hills at some point this week, too. A little local flavor there. On the tee from the USA.
Did you see the lineups?
Did I see the lineups? I saw he's with Spieth and Rory.
Yes.
The tee times?
I think it's like 7-11.
Is that what time it is?
Well, on Thursday for us.
All right, that's good for us.
Yeah, it's very good.
That's there it is, right there. 7-11 our time. Tee off on the backside, number 10. Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy. Or Rory McIlroy.
I can't wait.
I know. It's tomorrow. 505-246-0610. Hockey last night.
Ooh.
Avalanche got a John Manson goal in overtime. Beat the St. Louis Blues 3-2. Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal. Tampa Bay over Florida 4-1. So the defending champions continue to roll. They have a 1-0 lead in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Goaltending in that Avalanche game. So St. Louis, look, this is what's scary about when you get to this point in the National Hockey League. You get a hot goaltender, and it can go a long way. Almost took Dallas through Calgary the other day. What did he make, 64 saves the other night? Abs ran into a hot goaltender yesterday. We were finally able to get one past him again in the third period. I thought they were the better team. I'm watching, and I'm like, they're putting a lot of pressure on him. And but St. Louis had a hot goaltender. Abs get one in overtime, and they're up 1-0.
Avoid a very bad loss. Wasn't just a hot goalie alert. You look at the scoring chances, the odd man rushes, everything favored Colorado. There was a late power play in the third period, and it was a terrible change. All 4 Avs players came off at the same time. They thought they cleared the puck.
Oopsie.
It didn't get past the Blues blue line. Dude ran it down, fired a shot a pass to the opposite end of the bench where the change was happening. Blues player goes in. 2 Avs rush at him, fly right by. Little toe drag, fires a wrister under Kemper, and all of a sudden, with 2 minutes left, you're tied 2-2 going, oh, man.
Kemper was back. How many games did he miss? He had I think it was an eye injury, wasn't it?
That's 2 games.
All right. So he was back in for St. Louis. And was pretty good in game 1. Only 23 saves, so what would that be? 25 shots on goal for the Avalanche. Meanwhile, Binnington had to make 51 saves.
He was awesome, and that's a scary thing about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Is a hot goaltender,
yeah,
and take it all away from you. The Colorado Avalanche, we don't know what else we can do.
You know. Sports, not all sports. I guess basketball, you get one guy go off. You get a hot pitcher, he can win you a game. You get a hot goaltender, he can win you a game. You get a great quarterback, and he can win you a game. I mean, there is a key position in every game that really matters. And in that game, boy, it's a hot goaltender. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to come in. The Magic won the lottery last night. Thunder second, is that right? And I saw on the tweet thing yesterday that the Thunder/Sonics have done pretty good at the number 2 pick. They've got guys named Kevin Durant and Gary Payton with that pick. I don't know if that guy's sitting in the draft this year or not. But, all right. Feels to me like the Magic earned the number 1 pick over the last decade. They should get it every year.
Man, you just really don't like the Orlando Magic.
I just think, what's to like?
They were in the playoffs a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Got better than the Lakers.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not telling you the Lakers are worth a damn.
It's just it's when you're one of those franchises that you go from having stars at one point in time.
Tell me they were in the playoffs a few years ago. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Could be worse. Could be the Sacramento Kings.
That's fair. They should get it every year too.
Yeah.
They should split it.
Heck, the Thunder were in it 2 years ago. The Chris Paul year. It's who believes in Chet Holmgren? The
big, tall, string bean freshman coming out of Gonzaga?
Giraffe.
Okay.
Unicorn, you name it, for Gonzaga. Because you're going to be beat over the head with Giannis comparisons with this kid. And I really don't know what to think of him right now.
So,
because he can handle the basketball,
yeah.
He can make shots, he can block shots. He weighs 7 pounds.
Okay, so don't you think, what is he, 19 years old? 18 years old?
But I think
so. What's a comparable body coming out? Is it Giannis? Because was Giannis that thin? Because I'm going to tell you, he did everything in 1 year in college. He ran the floor. He made shots. He played low. He defended. And I get it, man. Playing against Loyola Marymount and playing the Celtics. I get it. But they played a hell of a schedule. They played Duke. They played everybody.
That's nothing. Like, we're way past.
I don't know that everybody is. I don't know that everybody is.
Played at Gonzaga, can't make it in this league.
I don't know that
everybody should be way past that.
But we should be. I look at him. So what's my option? Who's the next best guy on the board?
Well, Paulo Banchero
from
Duke, along with Jabari Smith from Auburn, the wing players. Chet Holmgren. Those are going to be your top 3 in the draft.
How many guys like that? I'm gonna go. How tall is he? 7'4", 3, 2, 1. What is he? I mean, he just looks ridiculous tall because he's so thin. But he is that big, right?
Yes.
I don't know how he passed it up.
7-footer, 7'6" wingspan.
7'6" wingspan, but he's only 7 feet. I say
only
7 feet.
He's only 7 feet.
But he's 7 feet. All right, and JJ, I got a guy who's coming out already with those skills. Already can shoot. I know he can defend. I got to believe I got a professional weight training staff and nutrition staff, and I'm going to bulk him up and I'm going to put some weight on the young man. I don't know how you go somewhere else.
His frame is more Kevin Durant than Giannis.
I think that's right.
But he doesn't have the same type of ball skills
yet
as Kevin Durant.
Did Durant have him coming out? He was really good coming out.
Yes, he was.
Durant
was a.
That's fair.
A guard that was just 7 feet tall.
All right, I don't think you're ever going to ask him to be Kevin Durant. Ask him to handle the ball that much, are you?
He's gonna, I think, to maximize
as much as Kevin Durant.
He's not going to handle it as much as Kevin Durant.
There's room in this game still for a center. There's still, like, I watch Joel Embiid.
He's broken in half in that league.
Maybe until you bulk him up, and that's what I'm telling you. I got to believe if I'm an NBA franchise that I've got a world-class nutrition and weight coach, and I'm going to bulk him up.
Yeah. To me, it's between Jabari Smith and
I think
Holmgren.
that's also right.
I do like Banchero. Smith just reminds me so much of Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
From Minnesota.
And so you tell me this guy reminds you of Durant, and one guy reminds you of Anthony Edwards. Here's my deal. I may miss, but this guy, something like this comes along so infrequently I'm not telling you by any means is he a slam dunk. Haha, see what he did? An absolute. I'm not telling you he's Andrew Luck, who was the only guy coming out that I remember. Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'm telling you he's a 75%er. But a 75%er at that of that ilk, the unicorn kind of thing, that there just isn't one of those, man, that comes out every 5, 6, 7, 10 years. I'm taking my shot there.
Yeah, and
I may miss, but I'm taking my shot.
You could miss on dude that you think's number one. It's the inexact science that is drafting in every sport. If you're the Orlando Magic, you took Jalen Suggs, guard out of Gonzaga, last year, Franz Wagner, the wing player out of Michigan, both in the top 10.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have your stretch forward. You have your point guard.
Oh.
I think Chet Holmgren's
perfect.
That you throw in there and get some buzz.
Well, look, you get a rim protector.
Ridiculous dimension. And if you have him on the floor with Mo Bamba, all right, you got some defense.
Well, and will he get broken in half? JJ, if he stays the way he is, yeah, he'll get broken in half. But I'm looking at him, and look, do your due diligence, do your work on it, and do your physicals and whatever. What have you done, young man, to bulk up? Well, I mean, I eat acai bowls every morning. All right, well, let's put a little pancakes into your diet and some oatmeal. Right?
195. I'm like, we need a
7 foot 195, right?
I mean, that is crazy.
And we're all going, damn, how much? And two what? And yeah. So, yes.
Compared to these other top prospects, they have about like 30, 40 pounds on them.
No, look, that's the issue. JJ's 100% right when he says, is he going to get pushed around, when he get broken? But did you see Kevin Durant's body when he came into the league? I saw a picture on Twitter yesterday when in his Sonics uniform. I mean, he's a skinny. No,
they're not going to ask him to do the same thing that they're going to ask Holmgren to do.
Right, they're going to ask Holmgren to do a lot more physical things. No, I get it. You're 100% right on the body type. I don't know how you don't take a chance. I mean, am I wrong? You figure you can bulk him up?
You get stronger, yes.
Okay.
That dude ain't gonna be bulking anytime soon.
No, I mean, why? You just can't?
I don't see that. I think he's just built that way. It's like Kevin Durant. He's been in an NBA for how long?
His body got stronger, right? I mean, he's not gonna get fat. He's not gonna be 270. But can you get him to 220 and thicken him up and make him stronger? And that's because you're going to have to, because otherwise you're right. He's going to get broken. Or have a foot injury. Big guy with a foot injury, you know what that means. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Summer's coming up. You're going to travel. Who's going to watch your home? May I strongly suggest IPS, International Protective Service. Give them a call. Ask them about home security. I did years ago. They've watched my home for years. I've had a couple issues over the years, and they've been there for me. My alarm went off when I was out of town once. Boom. You know how unsettling that is? The alarm company calls, and you feel helpless. And they went by. I saw them on the security cameras. They were checking everything out. Nope, everything's fine. I had one night where I was, during bowl week, garage door was open. My brother left the garage door open. I get a call at 3-something in the morning. There they are, sitting in front of my house. They're not leaving until someone comes down and closes the garage door. They look out for you. When you go out of town, pick up the mail, newspapers, a delivery, whatever it is, they look out for your home and give you security and peace of mind. They can watch your home or business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols. International Protective Service, committed to our city, committed to your protection. Give them a call at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or go online at ipsglobal.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home.
Sports Animal.
I want to remind you that coming up on Saturday, 8 to 4, 8 a.m., 4 p.m., the Sports Animal and all of the Cumulus radio stations will be holding a relief drive for supplies for people who have been displaced by the fires running throughout northern New Mexico. We'll be out at Cottonwood Mall, east side of the mall over by Regal Theaters. We're asking you to come by, bring whatever you can, whether it's clothing and toiletries, supplies, non-perishable foods, whatever it is. And as you go to the store over the next few days, asking you to think about the people who have been displaced, our neighbors, New Mexicans, who are still dealing with raging infernos up there that are burning our state. And they've been displaced. And we'll be out there. Incentive for you, aside from the warmth in your heart knowing that you're helping fellow New Mexicans. Once you make a donation, you are going to be able to select a pair of tickets to the Isotopes game, a New Mexico United match, 2 tickets to New Mexico Bowl, or Lobo Football Home Opener, or Balloon Fiesta. So all of those groups have partnered with us here at Cumulus Radio, Balloon Fiesta and UNM Football, New Mexico Bowl, New Mexico United, and the Albuquerque Isotopes, to look out for our friends, our family, our brothers, our sisters, our New Mexicans up in northern New Mexico. So asking you to find time, find it in your heart, to just help out people who are in just a horrible place. And I mean, I think about this all the time. I mean, what would you take? You ever think about that? What would I take? And I don't know. I mean, I've been in my home too long. I got too much crap, right? But I mean, what do you do? And then where do you go? And you just hope you got something to go back to. So our thoughts are with all of you who are in the midst of dealing with that. We think about you every day, and hopefully we can make a little bit of a difference out on Saturday. And we'll be out there as well. So
yeah, helping out. Got the early shift, so come on down. Be there collecting it, make it easy for you. And as you said, if you're just out, grab, just think of it. Whatever aisle you're in, be just grab a couple extra things. Times are tough, but there's people that have nothing left, and they need some help.
All right, 505-246-0610. Lobo baseball 12, New Mexico State 4. Lobos sweep the Aggies. 4 games played this season. 4 games went to the University of New Mexico. Mike wants to know, where is Jason and Jerome? I don't know. I haven't heard from them in a minute. But Lobo baseball has had a tough season. The Aggies seem to be the cure for all that ails them. Find me an Aggie game on a Tuesday, says Lobo Louie, and everything feels fine. So good for them. They'll close out the season on Saturday coming up this week at Santa Ana Star Field against the Air Force Academy. But tough first season for Todd Brown in Lobo baseball. And I've talked to a few people around it. I'm not sure I know what the answer is with Lobo baseball. Why was this such a down season? Is it just because it was a change? Was nothing left? Was there no pitching? Was there no? And I'm not sure. And we'll talk to Todd when it's all said and done to see what he thinks. But I think you could classify the first year as a disappointment, right?
Yeah, because it wasn't looked at as a rebuild, as she needed to come in and start from nothing, roster-wise. But as you said, you started to look back deeper. What were they missing? Spent some time out there yesterday. Offense looked good early. 2-run homer over the wall. Had a 4-0 lead. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Against the Aggies.
Against the Aggies.
You got that for him.
Do not forget that part. Against the Aggies. All right, Lobo football, and Danny Gonzalez comes in. He was in on Monday and was talking about they were recruiting another quarterback. They signed a quarterback yesterday, a junior college quarterback named Jake Jensen. He announced it on social media. He was a freshman at Contra Costa College in California yesterday, 6'2", 210. Stats aren't ridiculous, but that doesn't mean I'm careful on stats anyway. 57.8% of his passes, 1,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions for a team that went 9-1. That's the stat that I always look at. Did they win? I think at some point you're looking for guys who win. 9-1, ran the ball when he needed to 64 times for 105 yards. He's from Utah, went on a 2-year mission, did enroll at BYU. He was a preferred walk-on there, and he left to go to Contra Costa and wanted to play. So they've now 4 scholarship quarterbacks this fall. It'll be him, Isaiah Chavez from Rio Rancho, of course, C.J. Montes, and the transfer from Kansas, Miles Kendrick, also Connor Janal. So Connor Janal's a walk-on still, huh? I guess I didn't realize Connor Janal was still a walk-on. So they've got 4. Look, the Lobos have got this.
There's no Isaiah Chavez, Jeff.
I'm well aware of that. I don't know that anybody is. Does why am I forgetting Pavia, first name, the quarterback at New Mexico? Diego, thank you. Diego Pavia. Have you met him at all? Have you seen an interview with him? Have you seen anything? I watched him play just on the highlights at Nimi last year. I've seen the video of him play from the spring game. I spent about 5 minutes with him on Thursday last week, him and his mom, and there's a lot of Isaiah Chavez in him, just as far as the attitude, the chip on the shoulder, body type, right? Watching him play type. There's what did Jerry Kill say about him? I don't know what the hell what it is. It's something about him. There's that it to him, which is the whole Isaiah Chavez theory, right? You comfortable with the 5 quarterbacks you got going into camp with?
Yeah. So your penciled in starters Miles Kendrick, and then
from Kansas.
You have C.J. Montez, Jensen, guys that will be on scholarship with a chance to develop. Isaiah Chavez, the in case of emergency break glass quarterback,
he will
be
play
there for you
at some point, right? He will play at some point, right? I mean, just like he will play, right?
Yes, if you're banking on the track record we've seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any word how Terry Wilson did the Cowboy minicamp last week? It was last week, right? The rookie camp that he went to.
I'd have to see if there's some notes on it.
Yeah, I'd like to find something on that. I don't know how I feel about the quarterbacks going in, JJ. I told you this. I get asked almost routinely how the Lobos going to be. How's Lobo football going to be? I don't know because I don't know how how much better the offensive line is going to be. I don't know how I feel about Miles Kendrick and I got to believe he's got to be the answer, right? Because I'm looking down here. All right, you got a JUCO who's just coming in. You got I saw C.J. Montez. With all due respect, and I know he's going to get better, but JJ, I mean, last year he wasn't ready.
He's a true freshman.
He wasn't ready, but that's the impression. Well, right? But that's what I've got in my mind
right.
of seeing him play. I know it's unfair. I know it's not fair.
If we're gonna say Terry Wilson couldn't do anything because of the offensive line,
no, I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair. But what's the impression in your mind of watching him play? Right.
That's what most true freshmen look like at the quarterback position.
Yeah. And I know he'll get better, but I mean, I get a little uneasy with that. Isaiah's got the ceiling that he's gotten. I've seen Connor Janal, so I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you I'm like rip roaring. Yeah, I'm 100% in.
Most unknown it's been in a while. Because at least with Terry Wilson coming in, there's a different track record. You look at the SEC
and
tape,
a different feel.
You see it with him.
Yeah.
Here, you're just like, we'll see.
It's got to be Miles Kendrick, doesn't it? I mean, it has to be. I think.
If healthy, he's the starting quarterback.
Yeah. Healthy. Keep your quarterback upright and healthy. Please, right? I mean, that's really where it comes down to. All right, 505-246-0610. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, we're going to talk with Sebastian Noel. He, of course, the man of the people, the big guru over it. I wonder how many games he did last week. What do you think? We'll ask him. Over, under?
How many games were there?
Well, I mean, 1 million. Softball, baseball, track. I mean, he was doing everything, right? We'll ask
James, I don't know. He's kind of he's the big dog.
He is kind of just. That's my point.
Sit at Santa Ana Starfield or Isopes Park. Knock out some championship games.
Yep. All right, we're looking forward to talking to him. Hey, it's time to get your car looking nice, man. You're going to be in it. You're going to be rolling places. It's time to get that spring and winter grime and grunge out of it, off of it, out from inside of it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is your spot. Get detailed. What does that mean? They'll come and detail your vehicle. This isn't a wash and a wax job. Those are nice. This is great. Inside, outside, around the rims, the tires, under the hood. When they're done with this, it's impeccable. It's like the day you took it off the lot. That's how fun it is. It smells good. It feels good. It looks good. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Oh, and they come to you, by the way. Did I tell you that? Yes, that's right. They come to you wherever it is, whenever it is that it is convenient for you. You're busy. I'm busy. We don't have time to do this. But we do. Because while we're in the office, they're in the parking lot, and they are detailing your vehicle. You get a text, you go outside, and everybody's going, damn, I want to do that. That's exactly what happened to me. Well, you can do it. Father's Day is coming up. It's a great gift. Great gift. They also have ceramic coating. They apply it by hand. It's the best way to protect your paint for years to come. Scratch removal, paint correction, and they have a 10% discount for our military. Give them a call at 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859. Or you can book online. OTSdetailing.com.
Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract.
Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Colin Cowherd, weekdays at 1.
Identity, you have none. What's your personnel look like?
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Lobo Golf has some work to do. Lobo men's golf team is at the NCAA Regionals in Palm Beach Garden, Florida. Final round today. They got to finish in the top 5. There's 14 teams there. Currently, New Mexico sits in 8th place. 21 over par. They are 10 strokes out of where they need to be right now. So they got work to do. +2 today, while the teams who are ahead of them are making moves today. I mean, Vanderbilt's leading the way. They're 4 under today. Florida State's 4 under today. Florida's 5 under today. South Florida's 1 under today. Little Rock's 3 under today. So, I mean, I'm not there, but it looks like the golf course is gettable today, and the Lobos are going the wrong way. Early, they played. They're on the holes 2 through 5 right now. But that's where they need to make something happen. Sam Choi started today tied for 13th. He was even, or he is even. They got some guys who got to post some numbers today. Bastion Amat tied for 18th. So I'll keep you up to date on that. I'll keep watching that for you today. But that's something that has to happen today. PGA tomorrow. Did you catch Rory? I know you did. Rory, and it just everybody was talking about Phil. I thought Rory, and you know what? I've kind of come to the point where Rory is the most sensible, logical, cerebral, thought out, best soundbite on tour right now. Is he not? Like if I want a voice of reason, I want somebody to tell me how it is.
Great way to put it. Yes.
If I want to hear what's going on, I don't need, the golf course was tough. I played hard. I hit the ball. Well, I really hit whatever. Okay, you know what you're getting out of Brooks. You know what you're getting out of DeChambeau. To me right now, Rory's the guy I want to go to. If tell me what's going on. Is that kind of? Do you feel that he's not a kid anymore? He's a veteran. He's a multi-major champion, an international guy, likable guy. I mean. He seems even keel on this whole thing, and like I trust what he tells me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So his quote on whatever day yesterday was, on Phil's absence was that it's unfortunate and that it's sad. He said this should be a celebration, right? He won a major championship at 50 years old. It was possibly his last big moment in the game of golf. I think he should be here this weekend celebrating what a monumental achievement he achieved last year. He says, it's unfortunate. It's sad. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say, end quote. So you're thinking, well, no bleep, Jeff. I mean, that's what we're all, but nobody else is saying it. You and I can sit here and say it. And we kind of felt the same thing. Well, why isn't he there? We all want to see it. If you think back to the PGA Championship last year, and look, there's been a lot of great things in the sports world, and there's a lot. Well, Phil won at 50 years old, north of 50, won a major championship. Not unprecedented, but certainly not common. We sat here and talked about what an amazing feat it was. And it was one of the greatest things we've seen in a long time, and the celebration of Phil and the aw shucks Phil, and everybody loved Phil. And here we are 12 months later, and he's a damn pariah. And like whether you like him or not, or what he said, or you think he's full of crap, Rory's right, man. This is sad. There should be a celebration this week, and him out there defending it.
Look in the mirror, Phil. You're the reason why you're not here. He's not here.
But
and
yeah,
the players would have welcomed him in.
Mm-hmm.
They understand the business side of it.
Yeah.
But when you start digging the hole so deep to where your business dealings get intertwined with having to make excuses for governments, it's going to be a hard hole to dig yourself out of. Even when we gave Phil Mickelson so much runway to come out of this, we all did. We all expected him to be here.
Is it too late
to
come out of it?
I think it is.
Okay.
Because as we were discussing yesterday in the Phil Mickelson scenario, I think he's just in too deep with everything you've said, because he cannot be trying to the player face of the live
he's been flat out silent
golf tour, and then come back and say, I understand my comments were questionable, but then still be taking money for them.
He's been silent for the last 3 months, right? Tiger Woods, quote, "It's always disappointing when the defending champion's not here." It never happens, man. Phil has said some things that I think a lot of us who are committed to the tour and committed to the legacy of the tour have pushed back against. And he's taken some personal time, and we all understand that. But as we all know, as a professional, we miss him being out here. I mean, he's a big draw for the game of golf. He's just taking his time, and we all wish him the best when he comes back. Obviously, we're going to have differences of opinion how he sees the tour, and we'll go from there, end quote. I mean, Tiger said nothing, except for the end. Except for the end, where he said we have differences. And that's what that was a great Tiger quote. That was an old school Tiger quote. I mean, Phil's great for the game, and we miss him, and we always miss a defending champion. The defending champion's never not there. But it's always disappointing. I mean, I love me some Tiger, but Tiger wasn't touching that one.
No.
Very well prepared answer. I'm not done with this. I mean, I don't think you are either. Tomorrow we'll start talking about golf. But the Phil thing is, it's a gigantic elephant, man. For that game, for this week, for this specific tournament. Now, if he won the defending champion, it would still be a story, but it's bigger. Dude won at 50 last year. He should be there to defend and celebrate and enjoy it. And instead, and you're right, JJ, I'm not blaming anybody but him. Look in the mirror. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The Energy Land
Sports Show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
PGA Championship starts tomorrow. The 50-year-old major champion will not be there. The first time in the history of golf. And I guess I thought it had been done before, but it's the oldest major champion in PGA in golf's history. That's the Masters, the PGA, the Open Championship, or the U.S. Open. When he won at Kiawah Island last year. This would be the celebration of that. Well, Jeff, last year was the celebration. Right. But when the guy comes back, you always celebrate the defending champion. It's like the Masters, the championship dinner, the champions dinner, where the defending champion gets to pick the menu. It's a big deal. I mean, this is a big deal. And he's not there. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. You can get in at 505-246-0610. I look to this. JJ, please, I'm with you. I understand 100% whose fault this is. Like, I'm not telling you that this is anybody's fault but Phil's. I just feel it's a bummer obviously for him, but for golf. And I think at some point, is he going to come out? Is he ready? I kind of worry about the situation. And you and I were just talking off the air.
This is more than, Phil, some bad things, get over it. He's in bed with the Saudi government right now.
Well, so what does "in too deep" mean? What can it mean? And like I said yesterday, man, this could be a brutal movie. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil's taking their money, right? And we found out yesterday when Jack Nicklaus said, I turned down $100 million. And I'm going to guess to get Phil, one of the top players, one of the top draws in the world. I mean, Jack Nicklaus is 82. He can only draw you so much. That the money that they offered and maybe he took was in that same ballpark. He's in. Whether he signed a contract or he verbally committed, all the things that he's excused, like, I don't want to say I know anything because I don't. But would it be far-fetched to say, hey, Phil, be careful? Like, we know where you live. We know where your family lives. I mean, do you think that's far-fetched?
I don't think it's far-fetched at all, and that's what I was getting at. And you start to read this story of how Phil Mickelson can be too deep in this. Because if it was just him and said, I made some mistakes with my words, everyone would be okay with him coming back. But he's been absolutely silent. This isn't just him needing time away. This is him
hiding,
knowing he can't come out and speak out against the LIV Golf Tour
for his safety,
for just his sake right now, because of the commitments that he has made to them.
I think that's
and
right.
So you see it when you lay it out like that. It makes sense how he has said nothing, how he has not addressed it, how he is not showing up at these tournaments.
You can't say anything. What would you do? Rudy, good morning to you. You're on the Quan's Auto Care, or what used to be the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Good morning, Rudy.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Oh, just a little bragging rights day for UNM, right?
Yeah, it is.
Sweep in baseball. I think the final record was 19 wins for UNM overall and 6 wins for the Aggies. So, this is not Aggie Town. Don't get excited. Really, actually, just a little poke at the Aggies because it's all in good fun. But my call today was for what happened yesterday up in Santa Fe. And nothing's going to bring JB back.
Let's just set it up just for those who don't know. JB White was the Santa Fe high school basketball star, was committed to go to UNM, was murdered at a party, and yesterday the man accused of killing him was found guilty. Go ahead.
Yes, and he was tried as an adult, which he should be because he was doing adult things with a gun. And they rejected the self-defense argument, which I thought was a pretty pathetic argument. You don't threaten people. You don't pull out a gun. You don't ask them if you want part of this smoke, and then engage in a fight, and then use superior force and murder him. And so, it's not going to bring JB back, but hopefully it's closure. I was talking to Brandon Mason the other day at the ALS golf tournament, and he had a lot to do with JB signing with New Mexico. Yeah. And he and I talked for a minute, and I think he agreed with me, and I think that was really where Coach Weir lost his, whatever you want to call it, mojo. That was a crushing blow. And so I'm really happy, and this is the segue into it, with what's going on here with Richard Pitino and what the players he's able to get in here and the rebuild. I think it's going a lot faster than – I know he wants it to be fast. I know every Lobo fan wants it to be fast, but the two guys that he signed are truly legitimate players. Did you watch the highlight, and I know it's highlights, but of the new kid, Josiah?
Alec, yeah. I've seen the highlights. I mean, it's a thick – what it reminded me of body-wise and just the highlights I saw was David Quixote.
Quixote, or maybe even a Cameron Barstow. Okay. He's got a good spin move. He's very strong. And you can see that, and that's what we lacked last year. So, on a bittersweet day, I'm looking forward to UNM basketball next fall.
Right on.
I think we're really going to be good. And I also bumped into Mike Bradbury, and he said Amaya Brown looks like Amaya Brown. So that's really good news.
Really good news. All right, Rudy, good to hear you.
Yes, have a great day.
Enjoy the bragging rights. It's just a highlight tape. Did Josiah Alec remind you of anybody? It doesn't have to.
You have to give me a second.
Yeah, for me it was David Quixote. It was a thick, kind of maybe undersized big, but it's 6'8", trying to play 5, but back to the basket, thick rebounder. But I just saw 4 or 5 highlights. All right, 505-246-0610, back at it. Stephen, good morning to you. You want to talk about Phil? What's happening?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I appreciate the vine here. Hey, I was just kind of contemplating this whole thing with Phil, and I don't know, again, every detail, but one of the things that kind of strikes me is that sometimes we get on our high horse and we forget about what's going on politically in the world, so to speak. And yes, it's a travesty of what Saudi Arabia did, but you got to think about what's going on and all the atrocities in China, in Vietnam, and a lot of other countries that we happen to support financially, and yet nobody kind of brings that up. And so to me, there's a certain hypocrisy here, because it's very convenient, because we're kind of having some, in a sense, competition with the PGA. I love the PGA, but at the same time, we have these situations all across the world, and where is the outcry with China and all their atrocities?
Yeah, I think, Steve, there's a little bit of a difference. I think there was some outcry during the Olympics when that was front and center or whatever. I think the difference here is you have an individual who took upwards of $100 million and kind of, his quote was, JJ, help me. They've done bad things, or all people do bad things, but we're trying to make golf better, something along those lines, right? Is that where I am? Yeah, they killed people. Yeah, they murdered people, but it's just a bad look for him. You're not wrong. Are there atrocities going on all over the world? What's going on with the genocide in China that was really brought forward during the Olympics, when we all saw stories about the Uyghurs and what the hell's going on there, and has it kind of been forgotten by most people? Yeah, probably. You're not wrong. In this certain situation, this is this individual who would be taking center stage this week, and that's why it's so public now. It's kind of like the Uyghur thing was when the Olympics. It was topical. It was timely. You're not wrong. These things should be a focus on a daily basis. And are we doing business with China? Yeah, we are. Are we doing business with Russia? Obviously, we are. So you cross all these political landmine, so to speak. Here's an individual, and it's almost kind of different too, don't you think, when it's an individual as opposed to our country, our government doing it?
Well, I see your point, Jeff, and in certain aspects I do agree. But at the same time, there's so much that's hidden, so to speak, that we don't know.
100%.
And depending on what side of the, somewhat of the political fence, or in fact, what you read or what you delve into from a political standpoint, and you can start pointing the finger not just at a country, but at individuals and politicians and things of that nature. So I do agree with you. I understand that, but at the same time, I think there has to be a little bit more of a balance to even throw that aspect in.
That's fair. No, Stephen, I think I think it's fair, and I'm not telling you it all evens out. And the bottom line is Phil put himself in this position, right? He took the money, whether he knew who was backing this or not. He kind of knows now. He said some things, and he's kind of gone into his own little self-isolation right now. I do feel, and JJ feels the same way, right, that he would be welcomed this week by the players. If he showed up this week, he would have been welcomed.
Absolutely.
So
no. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
No, appreciate
Love your show.
Thoughts. Thank you very much. And look, and please, more of that. If y'all have that, please, you don't have to agree with us 100%.
Well, I've said this since the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's big business, bad things happen. And countries, business dealings, trade, like all this stuff that's going on, big time companies. We understand that all that money ain't clean. But when Phil Mickelson goes to bat for a government, it's not, whataboutism. It's he stepped in it. He didn't keep it straight big business. If he kept it big business, everyone would get it and go, all right, he's trying to put some pressure on the PGA Tour. He saw some money there, he's playing golf. But then when he starts to go excusing the things that government has done, that's where he made the mistake.
Yeah, so is it different when you say big business? Pick your gigantic company that's doing business in Saudi Arabia or in China or in Russia, right? McDonald's just sold all their restaurants. But whatever, McDonald's is in China. Pick your cola company, pick your whatever, right? Is it different when they're there? Phil, to his defense, and whatever this is worth, made his comments in defense of himself, because all of a sudden, well, look where this money's coming from. Look, he was called out on it, right? The Saudi government did this, and this, and then he came out and says, well, yeah, they did some bad things, but. And he stepped in it, 100% stepped in it. But do we ever call out the cola company or the restaurant chain for, well, you're doing business there, and what do they say? I mean, would it be any different? You're right, this is business, maybe small business to big business. This is individual to corporation. I don't know that I think
it's much easier to call out an individual than a corporation.
Right. Is it much different? Phil said it, and he's got to own what he said. And I don't know that restaurant chain or cola company.
When he said it at the time,
yeah,
it wasn't. Oh, I'm going to go back and now I know what they're doing.
No, but it was in response to, hey, you're taking money. Look who you're taking money from, right? He didn't just come out and make a statement just because he wanted to. It was in response to, hey, dude, look, I mean, how could you take money? Look at what this tour is. Look who's back in this tour. You're taking their money. This is horrible.
And you said he didn't care. It's about the money.
Basically.
You can play the PR game, Phil. Play the big business game. Say this is a business move. We're not looking at it in any other way than that. We'll talk with my team. We'll take in things to account. But in terms of what was presented to me
I'm not arguing with you there.
It ain't that hard. Instead of going to bat for bad governments across the world.
But I think where Steven was going is, what's the difference with the cola company or the restaurant or the oil company?
You can do the same thing. Don't buy that cola.
Yeah. But if you call them out, and does anybody call them out? Does anybody call them out and say, well, you're taking, look whose money you're taking? I don't know that they do or that they don't. And what if the restaurant chain or the cola company or
but it's also whataboutism. I agree.
You're right. You're right.
Phil Mickelson's story, not, hey, let's distract from Phil and start attacking McDonald's.
No. I want to continue this conversation and love your thoughts on this. Would you welcome Phil? I mean, would you welcome him? What do you care? You're not there. But did you want to see Phil this week, A, play golf, and B, speak, or are you done? Like, dude, go play on the Saudi Tour, which, by the way, has 6 of their 8 tournaments in the United States this year. Is that when you want to see him? You're in the warmer months now. You're playing golf. You're playing tennis. You're riding your bike. You're moving all over the country. You're doing more. Guys, you ready for this? Are you the best you? If you are not, if you're not quite the best you can be, if you're, I don't know, tired too often, you're dealing with hair loss, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, New Male can help you. In fact, New Male has helped thousands of men all around the country with these exact things, these natural things. Call New Male, 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or visit Newmale, NUMALE.com. Making the call sometimes is the hardest part. Make the call. Don't make excuses. Make the call, because once you do, once you visit New Male, you're going to realize the process is easy, it's comfortable, and it works. Guys, that's the best part about New Male. It works. The results are real, and men everywhere feel better. 505-652-1688. Enjoy being active. Enjoy being you again. Call New Male at 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and enjoy being your best you.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through.
He said, I haven't figured out what Lefty did that's drawing so much ire. I don't think he said one thing that is factually incorrect. He's getting paid by shady characters. You know that? You know what? So do politicians. So do other players with their shoe deals with companies that exploit cheap labor in oppressive countries, etc. It's from Harold. All right, I don't know how to explain this to Harold anymore. So
yeah, but those people, those companies are able to play the PR game. And does it make it right in all those cases? No. But they're not out there talking about those specifics.
That it's okay. Well, it's okay that there's children that are
saying that
working
they
for
just
$2
made
a month.
mistakes in their learning. That's the harsh reality of this all, is that you want to sit there and run down that list? Well, then you show me in your life where you've cut off everything, where you don't have stuff made in China, where you don't have stuff purchased from X, Y, or Z company.
No, we all,
you don't.
We all do.
We all do.
We all do.
But the difference is, this is an individual that was blinded by the money. Instead of keeping it big business PR, he opened mouth, insert foot, and he is in way too deep. And if this was as simple as he said something wrong, he'd be back. We all know he would. It's what we do. We give people second chances. This is different now with that government that he's involved in.
Harold, I think the biggest issue right now for him isn't you or me or a golf fan or anybody in that locker room at Southern Hills tomorrow. The biggest issue is the people with whom he's doing business globally who, I don't know, JJ, help me. He excused, well, yeah, they're murderers and they're civil rights abusers, but it's all right.
Phil Mickelson, and the Saudi money has finally given us that leverage.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
So
and fighting back into PGA.
What has he committed to, and more so, and I know this is speculation, and I'm taking it to some deep movie, but more so, what have they committed him to? He's taken their money. I bet he's tried to give it back. You think he's tried to give it back?
Knowing Phil, no.
I'll bet he has. I mean, dude's in isolation. Phil Mickelson, who was living at the top of the world for the last 30 years. I want you to think of it. Coming out of Arizona State, he's been at the top of the world for 30 years. And now, I mean, you haven't seen hide nor hair of him. He is the defending champion. He's the first major champion in the history of the game north of 50 years old. Would be celebrated this week at Southern Hills. He's not there. You don't think he would give it back if he could restart his life? Let's say it was $100 million.
I think in that regard he would. And this is one that we keep talking about it. Yeah. I'm sure there's people like, okay, like we get it. Phil said something wrong. Get over it.
Yeah, but that's not it.
It's not that simple. Yeah. And that's why this story has more turns to it, because if it was that simple, Phil would be back playing golf this weekend. Because we would all say, all right, you made a mistake.
Yeah, go do your thing.
Move on.
Yeah.
But it really feels like, and I know I keep bringing it up, and you're like, Greg Norman's irrelevant in this, but he's kind of echoed some of the same things Phil has said.
That's why it takes you down this path, though.
It's like, what PR packet were they given?
Right.
Then this is what you're going to say when you are asked about it. And it was definitely not the right way to go about it. Instead of just keeping it business, you start addressing specifics, and you find yourself in this situation.
All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails. Emails are coming in at Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Somebody's changing the radio station because the commercials interrupted breakfast.
What?
Didn't like the the commercials during breakfast. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right, text line basketball. Orlando Magic should trade for Tony Snell. Every team Tony Snell's been on has been to the playoffs. Chicago, Milwaukee, Portland, Atlanta, New Orleans. Tony Snell is your Robert Horry as far as just getting you to the playoffs.
Not a bad idea.
All right. I think they should. They should trade the number 1 pick for him, too. What do you think of that? Just trade the number 1 overall pick. Tony Snell. Coming up at 8:30, we can talk high school sports. Sebastian Noel's going to be with us. 9:30 this morning, we're going to go to Salt Lake City. Yesterday was the first day in minor league baseball, and AAA baseball, that what do they call it, automated balls, ABS, automated balls and strikes?
Now your anti-lock brake system.
Robo-wumps. So we'll talk to Josh Sush on the voice of the Isotopes, see how that went in day one.
Listening to the game, the flow felt the same.
So
it wasn't like,
here's one thing that I did not know. I saw his tweet. So if a ball bounces into the strike zone, and so it could land 4 feet in front of the plate and bounce in. The umpires are, if you get the beep in your ear or strike, I don't know what they're hearing. Are they hearing strike, ball, or beep, or I don't know what they're hearing, but they are instructed. You do not have the authority to overturn the machine. So if a ball bounces, so the new knuckleballer is going to be the guy who can freaking bounce one into the strike zone. It will be called a strike. You would feel they should at some point and will have
addressed.
Well, because we're in the infancy of it. So I got to believe at some point in the evolution of this, that will be addressed, right?
Heck, if I'm a pitcher, I'm bouncing
figuring
that
that
ball
out, right?
Time.
And all of a sudden, we're going to be playing freaking cricket.
Yeah.
Right? And then guys are going to be up there with paddles and their hats on backwards and whatever, however you play cricket. I don't even know that. I've tried so many times to understand cricket. I guess they can last for 3 days, one match. But yeah, that's a problem, would you say? Sebastian Noel next. Looking forward to recapping what was a terrific weekend of championship high school sports around the land of enchantment. Thanks for remembering you listened to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
AM 610, the sports animal.
Great weekend around high school sports. It was wonderful. State champions in baseball and softball and track and field were crowned. We had great performances in golf the prior week. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sibieta, JJ Buck, the voice of the people. The grand poobah from ProView Networks, Sebastian Noel, joins us to talk high school sports. Good day, sir. How you living?
Good. How are you guys this morning?
Yeah, excellent. Good to see you out at the baseball field the other day. You doing the big 3A championship I saw when, how about was it Luis Patron with 12 strikeouts, and then they pulled him with 1 out to go to get a standing ovation as Nimi was a big winner, 17-1 over East Mountain. That was one of the many great performances you got to see.
Yeah, and I was pretty excited about that game because he kind of made some national headlines this year when he was leading the nation in strikeouts on Max Preps. He had a no-hitter earlier in the season where he struck out 20 guys. So his first 10 outs were via the strikeout. And I don't know if you picked up on it, but there was a little bit of gamesmanship in that game. Those teams are district rivals, and I think Nimi started kind of running the score up a little bit. So after that, East Mountain said, hey, bunting? This is just speculation on my point, but I think they just started bunting so he couldn't rack up his strikeouts because they were bunting right into outs.
Dude, they were bunting with 2 outs. I'm like, what are we doing? Is that when you're just giving up? Like, I turned to Addie, and I'm like, okay, that's when you know they've given up. They're bunting with 2 outs and a man on third.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, I think that's what that was all about, is that they felt that the score was being run up, so they weren't going to allow Luis Patron to run up his strikeout.
Well, he had 12 in 6 2/3, or not 4 2/3 innings because it was a mercy rule. He was terrific. This is how big Sebastian Noel is, though, right? He does games. He gets a color analyst. I do a baseball game on ProView Networks, and well, I do it solo. But I ain't angry now. I had a good time. I got the next game, the 4A game, which I thought was going to be a lot closer. St. Pius and Academy, a rematch of last year's thriller. It wasn't thrilling. It was mercy ruled 15-2. Pius just pumped them.
Okay, but Jeff, you got to tell our audience that on the way to the broadcast booth, you have a fan just hands you a printed media guide.
It was a few pages. It was a few pages of notes. Now I did get notes. Becky Reicher.
I saw colored pictures. I saw full colored pictures.
Yeah, Becky Reicher, who's a team mom for Academy. I got a text during the day from her husband. Their son is the catcher. Said, "Are you doing the Academy game today?" I said, "I am." All right. Well, Becky's gonna type up a few notes for you. I'm like, "Well, beautiful." And so I prepped. I got my rosters and schedules and wrote down a couple pages of notes. And she had a couple pages of beautifully typed out notes with 3 to 6 bullet points for each player. By the way, that helps a lot.
Leather bound. It smelled of fresh mahogany.
It helps a lot, Seabass. You should get a team mom like that for every team that you cover, because man, especially at a 15-2 game when you're doing it by yourself and you have no color analysts, it helps a lot.
Yeah, St. Pius just looked like a team that wasn't going to be stopped, right? I mean, you can tell they stewed over that loss all year long, and when they got a chance to get the Chargers back in the championship, it just didn't look like they were going to be denied.
They talked about it, too, after the game. They said all year we talked about it. Matt McCoy was on with us, JJ, Monday, the head coach at Pius, and I asked him how often did that come up in meetings and conversations, and he said probably too often. Some teams will tell you, no, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it. You know they did. He's like, no, openly, they talked about it, getting beat that way by their rivals a year ago, stuck in their craw for a year, and they did talk about it, and they played like it. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks with us on the opening drive. Well,
Sebastian, we know Carlsbad, there's something down there in the water for what they did in baseball and softball seasons, but who are the teams? And it's looking like Sandia is a team in 5A that's going to have that chip on their shoulder and is going to be really hungry with the talent to make a run next season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Sandia's got some nice young talent, and I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder of, hey, maybe we underperformed a little bit. We didn't make some adjustments in the well, let's be honest, we didn't make any adjustments during the championship game. I think maybe they were just a little too satisfied beating La Cueva again. I don't know. That's just me guess speculating. So, yeah, I think they're going to have a pretty big chip on their shoulder. Obviously, they have a fantastic freshman in Figueroa Brito coming back. Carlsbad's going to be really good again. One of those pitchers that threw in the tournament will be back, and I'm sure they'll bring 2 other ones up to join him. They always have such great pitching depth. They have a really good freshman at short. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Carlsbad right back in that equation either. But I agree with you, JJ. I think Sandia will have a lot to prove next year, and I think they're going to be an early favorite.
And Sebastian, when we're in the moment, still digesting everything from baseball and softball, but you take a step back, and of the performances we've seen unbelievable performances. Whether Aiden Kraft last week and go back to basketball, are there any that really do stand out to you from this past year in high school athletics?
Well, it's definitely the one I didn't see, and that was Aiden Kraft. Yeah. I mean, to shoot a 60 at Twin Warriors, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the 90s at Twin Warriors, but it's pretty phenomenal, and I was looking for some similar scores across other states. You really don't see anything like it. And then obviously Jose Murillo's championship, or actually his entire basketball tournament has to come to mind, right? He just had a dominant week at the pit there. And I think there's a lot of, I'm sure I'm leaving a lot out.
Let me give you one. The young lady, why am I forgetting the young lady's name? The 8th grader that won Big School State Golf from Las Cruces. So I was out at Twin the other day for a tournament, and she shot a 68 on the day before Aiden shot his 60 out there. And I guess the winds were howling at 35, 40 miles an hour. And people were telling me out there that 68 that she shot was almost, not quite as impressive as 60, but almost as impressive as 60 because of the conditions.
Yeah, believe it. With the wind out there, you know how challenging that can be. And I think even if we look back to the football season, you know, we got some amazing athletes out on the field. And I think this season was just across all sports. I think you guys mentioned it the other day. Hey, maybe New Mexico's a baseball school or a baseball state, right? Because of how much talent we have. But I think we're seeing that across all sports. And I know that I'm lucky enough to kind of get to spotlight that, right, on ProView Networks with the wonderful team we have over there. I mean, we were at baseball, we were at softball, we had a team at track, we had a team at Rio Rancho where there were baseball games going on. So I don't want to go without mentioning just the amazing work that these guys all do. And I'm lucky enough to come on here every Wednesday with you guys and spotlight some of this, but the guys that do the work, it's just amazing what they do.
When I was down underneath basically in the guts of the baseball stadium, and there's Jay Pohl and Josh down there, and I saw Adrian at third base working hurt, and what Alden does, and just that whole crew is pretty amazing. The amount, I tell you this all the time, not just the quantity, but the quality of the broadcasts you put on is something that you should be, I know you are, proud of, and you and Steve Davis and everybody over there, congratulations on a great season. I want to hit track and field real quick, and I'm not even going to go big school. What Los Alamos has going track and field and 4A, both boys and girls, and I know it's really kind of anchored with their distance running, and they won state cross country. They've got a hell of a program up there.
Yeah, and how does that happen, right? That's the question. And I think it starts with, like, continuity, right? You have to have continuity. It's the same thing that happens at Academy with track and tennis and those kind of sports, right, at Academy. It starts with continuity at the top, right? They have coaches that are there forever. That starts to build. The wheels start turning. Then the next thing you know, hey, if you're a really good tennis player, this is where you go. Or, hey, if you're really good at track, this is where you go. And then you just have to cultivate and nurture that over time. And Los Alamos has been able to do that at just an amazingly high level.
It's pretty impressive. Anything stand out on the track for you? Wysong from Cleveland was really impressive. There were some really, really fun races. There were a few upsets, a lot of close finishes. I saw the end of the 4A medley, which was terrific on the boys' side. So there was some fun stuff to watch out there.
Stratton Schufelt with the shot put.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the next big, D1 football player out of here, and I do mean out of here because we're talking Power 5 in my opinion. So to see him, a lot of these athletes that we've talked about all year, like a Jalen Bates, right? I think she won the long jump. Yep. So multiple sports stars making some noise during track. I know Strat, he can really throw it, and it'll be fun to watch him and see where exactly he lands.
Good. All right, are you done with us till football season, or are we going to do this intermittently throughout the summer? What do you want to do with this? I know we'll.
Hey, whatever. We got Gladiators for a couple more weeks. Whatever you guys want
to
do.
Let's keep you in this Wednesday slot, man. Let's keep it going, and we'll talk Gladiators and have you on Wednesdays, and if that works for you. But just want you to know we appreciate the content. I know it takes time out of your schedule. We appreciate you spending some time with us. It adds a lot, I think, for our listeners to get this insight that you're at so many places. High school sports is such a huge part of our community, and we appreciate you and ProView Network sharing your time with us.
I know, speaking on behalf of Steve, I know he appreciates the partnership, and thanks, guys.
All right, be well. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Sebastian.
All right.
Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people. So he was doing the game before me, and I did. I walked up. The team mom, who I've known for a lot of years, Becky, well, come here. I wrote some notes for you, and she gives me. It's a few pages of typed out notes with 3 to 6 bullets on each player, and I made 4 copies. I didn't know how many you need, and I'm like, and it was unbelievable. I mean, the info is just stuff I wouldn't know, like what colleges they're going to, and he's going to play next year at Navy.
That helps.
And so I showed Sebastian. I said, "You get this?" He's like, Jeff Symbieta shows up and gets a freaking media guide. I'm like, no. Well, yeah, okay, kind of. All right. Robotics Strike Zone. That's coming up at 9:30. Coming up next, I want to get into a little NFL stuff, the NBA from last night as well. We'll reset Jimmy Butler's performance on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This spring, let Audible bring a smile with
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters.
As ever. Smooth as ever.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, rough sledding for Lobo men's golf so far today. They played their 5th through 9th holes right now. Final day to qualify for the NCAA championships. They're at the regionals in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Top 5 out of 14 advanced. Lobos are currently tied for 9th. The problem is they're going the wrong way. Vanderbilt, Florida State, Florida, South Florida, and Little Rock are your teams right now. The team to catch is Little Rock. The other ones are safely in. Little Rock's at 15 over. The Lobos are at 27 over. They're going to make up 12 strokes and pass over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. And they're going the wrong way. Of the teams today, UNM and Notre Dame have the worst scores at +8. They are 8 over as a team. They are struggling. Vanderbilt -10 today. Florida State -7 today. Florida -7 today. Little Rock -6 today. So those are the teams that are making a move, and that's who's in the top 5. So I'll continue to watch it for you. But a big next 2-3 hours for Lobo men's golf as they try to qualify for the NCAA tournament. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails come in this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. Looking forward to talking to Josh Sushan about the first day of automated balls and strikes. The text line says, so if a knuckleballer bounces it into the strike zone and you don't send it out of the park, it should be called a strike. That's your bad, LOL. Kind of. Reading Josh's Twitter, I'm looking forward to catching up with him. It sounds like it went well. Like you would never know the difference, he said. And I think that's really what we want, right? Yeah. He said there was no delay?
Yeah, listening to the game, and I know definitely at A-Marie now, feeling the difference of this entire season, the pitch clock.
Oh, my gosh.
And this, it didn't seem awkward. It wasn't like, and there's a pitch.
And come on, give me a strike. Oh, there it is.
If you were watching the game, you wouldn't have known.
Do you watch the game while you're listening to it? Do you call it up on MILB TV?
I have, but no.
Okay, I have, but no. I think that's what you want, right? I don't want to know the difference. What do I always tell you? If you know the umpire's name, we got a problem. If you know the referee's name, we probably got a problem, don't we?
The biggest difference is this pitch clock. Games are going by so fast.
Does that bother you? You're not getting enough hours? What?
No, I think it's awesome. Like it just goes by so quickly.
That was the intent, and so obviously it's working for them.
It flows.
Yeah, they're getting what they want out of it. All right, big leagues yesterday. Dodgers win again. Dude, the Dodgers they're down every night and they win. Rockies win yesterday?
No.
Sorry.
The Avalanche won. Hey,
they're playing the
your
Giants.
Avs won, though.
Astros hit 5 home runs in 1 inning off of Nathan Eovaldi. Astros won 13-4. It's like the 6th time in the history of the game that a team's hit 5 home runs in an inning. And I think the first time
it's only the third off of one pitcher.
Off of one pitcher.
And all three have come within the last 5 years.
It's nuts. How do you leave a pitcher in there to just get smoked like that? I mean, his neck's going to hurt.
Trade for Albert Pujols.
Let him do it. All right. Josh at 9:30. Hoops when we get back. What do you think? Is it the Heat now? You like the Heat coming out of the East? This is Jimmy Butler, a bona fide superstar. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at Golden Pride at ABQ.
Technic. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cindietta, and JJ Buck. Don't sweat.
Western Conference Finals will get started tonight in San Francisco. Not in Old Oracle Arena anymore in Oakland, but in San Francisco at the Chase Center. The Dubs, Golden State Warriors, the Mavs, the Dallas Mavericks. It should be fun. Luka, Steph, Clay, Steve Kerr should be back today too. Opening drive in your ear on 95.9 FM. On AM 610 Sports Animal, Jeff Cindietta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. That's how you come play radio with us today, 888-922-0610. If you're still paying tolls some reason, then we'll pick up the toll for you. You can send emails, and you are Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. So no Marcus Smart, no Al Horford for the Celtics last night. They are up at halftime anyway, is Boston, 62-54. Everybody with the Heat said, well, there really wasn't much said. We were just pissed off. They go on a 39-14 scorcher in the third quarter to take control of the game and close out an 11-point win. What a difference in the third quarter for Miami. Jimmy Butler goes for 41 last night. And we had the conversation earlier, bonafide superstar or star. Yesterday we made a list, and there were 6 guys on that list that were superstars. Giannis, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic. And I think Jimmy Butler was first on the list, well, amongst the first, with Joel Embiid, John Morant, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, on the stars but not superstar list. We had a conversation earlier. He's a superstar. He gets elevated to the top shelf.
Yes. Jimmy Butler, it's not just because of last night. Look at what he's done in Miami. Eastern Conference Finals appearances, NBA Final appearance. He has the edge people are looking for. He has that throwback, old-school attitude that so many people say is missing from that game. And that Heat team is just different. And they feed off that energy. The backcourt, the starting backcourt, is 2 undrafted guards. They have Jimmy Butler. He wasn't a lottery pick. I think it was the last pick of the first round when he went to Chicago out of Marquette. And he is the best two-way player in the game right now. 27 of his 41 points in the second half when his team needed it.
Do you count Kawhi in that
the most?
Because he's not playing?
He was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I guess that's fair. If he's not playing, he's not anymore. Yeah.
And it's kind of same thing with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's been good, but he's still coming back from the major injury. It's taking him away from being one of those elite defenders.
Jimmy Butler, 30th pick, first round, 2011 draft by the Chicago Bulls.
Okay. And you look at when it matters the most. Jimmy Butler, career 40-point games. None in the regular season, 5 in the playoffs. Rises to the occasion.
Al Horford, Marcus Smart come back. How much of a difference does that make? Because I think it makes a difference.
I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And just being able to push back against the physicality, help limit what happened in that third quarter. Because even without Al Horford and Marcus Smart, that shouldn't have happened in the Celtics. Like, they should have 2 of the 3 best players on the floor at all times. But it's a bit of a gut check now for Jaylen Brown, who wasn't that good last night, for Jason Tatum, who was taken out of the game in the second half. So we watched Tatum go toe-to-toe with Giannis. And when Giannis had a 46-point game, Tatum had 44. Like, the dude can respond. He will respond. But now it's just, all right, they didn't expect that Al Horford was going to be out of the lineup, health and safety protocols. They knew that Smart sprained his foot last game, but it was kind of questionable coming in. But they still had a lead at halftime. This team can still compete without those players. They can make this a series, but man, that was just it was a game one statement for that third quarter. Like, the series isn't over. We all know that, been there, done that. But man, what Butler did was
terrific.
This is different.
All right, tonight, Warriors who are playing well, but I don't think anywhere near their best, get by a jawless Memphis Grizzlies in the semifinal. So here they are against a Mavs team that feels like they are playing their best. Just ran the number 1 seed out of their own gym. They come in with a guy who's playing, I would argue with you, has been the MVP of the playoffs. And Luka playing better than, we love Jimmy Butler. I love Giannis. Luka's been, to me, the most consistent, best player in the playoffs. There's intrigue in this. I'm going to take the Warriors, but I'm not convicted in where I sit with it.
It's because of Luka Doncic.
Yes.
Absolutely. What he has done in the playoffs is phenomenal. Now he has 2 series wins under his belt. And he is similar in terms of the edge he brings, like the mindset. And we're just sitting there talking about Jimmy Butler, but that's Luka's presence for the Mavericks. Is he's not buddy with everybody. When he's on the floor, he's locked in. He was going at it with Devin Booker, those two back and forth and exchanging shots, whether it was from the 3-point line or verbal jabs on the court. And to me, I look at this series too. It's who do they hunt? Because they hunted DeAndre Ayton. Now, they attacked the Suns in the pick and roll, whether it was Chris Paul, Luka backing him down, trying to get the switch on the outside with Ayton. Can Draymond Green survive better in those situations? And they have some bigger guards. You're going to see some Klay Thompson on him. You're going to see some Andrew Wiggins on him. And that's going to be a lot of fun to watch is where Luka decides to attack in this series.
I'm trying to remember who was the number 1 pick that year. 1 and 2. Who went before Luka?
DeAndre Ayton.
That's what it was. And I was reminded this week of Stephen A. Smith saying, I don't care about this guy from Europe or this Euro. You got to take DeAndre Ayton. I don't care, right? I mean, all the pre-draft screaming, I know he's some Euro. You take DeAndre Ayton. I mean,
love the East Coast accent.
Right? Well, that wasn't even – I was just kind of half in it. But screaming A, going at it. And I don't know. You think the Suns would like to have Luka Doncic?
Everyone would.
I'm just
like Trae Young was selected before him, which was not the right pick either. In the moment, you bet on the guy who at 18 years old was a EuroLeague MVP.
That's why I'm saying, first of all, the draft is so inexact. When we were just having the conversation about Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga, who is different, right? I'm going to bet on that young guy who is just different, who made that big of an impact in college basketball.
Well, okay, so it was Ayton, Marvin Bagley, then Luka, Jaren Jackson, Trae Young, and Atlanta and Dallas made the swap.
Atlanta and Dallas.
So Atlanta picked Luka Doncic, traded him for Trae Young. Sacramento messes it up. It's what they do.
They took Marvin Bagley?
You had Ayton it's good. He's not Luka Doncic, but Ayton. Then you had Jaren Jackson Jr. at 4.
Who's been
Trae Young at 5.
Wow.
And then they picked Marvin Bagley.
Yeah. That's why the draft is so inexact and why the Sacramento Kings are so in good.
I would have been good with Colin Sexton, Wendell Carter Jr., Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges.
Where's Marvin Bagley these days?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was in that draft, and they picked Marvin Bagley.
Where's Marvin Bagley now? Is he still there? Is he still playing?
No, he was traded to Detroit.
So not really. If you get traded to Detroit, it's like purgatory. It's like going to Siberia.
Is it better than the Orlando Magic, Jeff?
Detroit?
Yes.
I don't know. You give me a more I hate using the word irrelevant. So give me a more inauspicious, just like, all right, use the word irrelevant.
Yeah.
Sports franchise in America. Give me one that you talk about less, that you know less about, that makes less of an impact on a national scale outside of their market. Give me one. Hockey doesn't count because, well, it's hockey. But in the big 3, give me one. You got one? Sure as hell ain't the Jacksonville Jaguars. We talk a lot about them.
Sure do.
Maybe the Sacramento Kings. Maybe. You got one? Minnesota Twins? No.
Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati Reds. We talked about them yesterday. You got one? That's my point.
We're
That's all. I
talking
don't
about the
hate 'em.
Magic just like we're talking about the Reds.
Well, we're talking about it
Being
because they
irrelevant.
won the damn draft lottery yesterday, and then you tell me I hate them. That's why we're talking about them.
We're talking about the Reds because you lose a game, you throw a no-hitter.
All right, fair enough. They got a couple players. Joey Votto's decent. When was the last time we talked about him? Period. When was the last time anybody that you know mentioned the Orlando Magic?
We only talk about them when we talk about epic songs that teams.
Fair.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good one. It's not like it's the LOL category.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh, the LOL category. I like that.
Yeah, it is. All right, when we come back, I got a story for you. It's one of those. How much would you pay? You drink airport beer, cocktails a lot, right? Because you travel.
Yes.
How much would you pay
general.
for a beer at the airport? You're going to tell me no bleeping way when we come back. Hit the open road this summer. Get a new vehicle. Upgrade your home. Get your home summer ready. Call or go by or go online and talk to my friends at Kirtland Federal Credit Union, because whatever your financial goal is, they have products and personal service that will help you get there. Buying that new car? Competitive rates, unbeatable service. Kirtland Federal Credit Union will help you drive away in that vehicle you want with payments with which you can live. Need a new home? Choose from a wide variety of mortgage programs. Partner with a team of friendly, knowledgeable mortgage experts. Are you improving your home? You can turn the value of the one you live in into cash, and you can use that for home improvements, upgrades, and more. Planning for retirement? Investing for retirement starts with Kirtland Financial Services. Talk to an advisor today and start walking the path to a confident future. How can they help you? Find out. Stop by any branch or visit them online at kirtlandfcu.org. kirtlandfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. See a membership representative for complete details.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, you complain about beer prices all the time at the ballpark, at the arena. Garcia sent me an article. It is out of Fortune magazine. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. So, hey, Marie, you travel a bit. You every once in a while hit an airport bar. You've told me about it. You sent me pictures. I've seen the Twitter. You are somewhat active on social media.
Yes. I frequent them.
How much? Now, you expect to pay more at an airport bar than your neighborhood bar for a beer, right?
Yes.
How much would you pay? I mean, like you don't even know.
Average.
First of all, you would pay whatever the hell they ask because we all ask for a beer and then we say how much or get the bill and you're like, whoa, and you pay it.
Yes.
All right. How much would you pay? How much would if you knew?
If I knew?
Yeah.
Like, what's the
What would
limit?
scare you away? Say, no,
20.
20? A passenger at LaGuardia Airport paid $27.85 for a Samuel Adams Summer Ale.
How big was it?
I don't give a damn.
I'm kidding.
So
inflation.
Well, so the Port Authority that runs the airport, they ordered an audit because there's a company who runs the restaurant and the stores at the airports and they're price gouging. And so now they're going to start tightening the airport's, quote, street pricing policy to ensure the prices on concessions are comparable to what you pay outside the airport, which whatever. We all expect to pay a little more. What did I just tell you? $27.85, $29 for a beer?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I enjoy a beer, man. And if I'm traveling, I'll sit in the bar and watch the game and have a beer or like whatever. But Samuel, I don't tell me whatever your beer is.
I don't care what it
Gold
is.
plated. I don't give a damn. There was another guy that paid, and it was like random. So there was another guy who paid a New Belgium Fat Tire, which I'm not big on Fat Tire, but whatever.
Me neither.
$20.60 plus an extra 10% COVID recovery charge. That's an extra $2. That doesn't go to the wait staff. Oh, and then you better tip.
Yes.
Dude, we're walking out. That dude was north of $30 for a beer. I don't know what the number is. I don't know how thirsty you are. So I guess the Port Authority investigated and they found there were 25 people who were charged what they call, quote, totally indefensible amounts, end quote, for beers that ranged between $23 and $27. It's like random. What, are we just poking in numbers? Like somebody's playing piano on the register and whatever comes up, comes up. They were all in one terminal, Terminal C. That's but Frontier. You know the terminal. Frontier Airlines, Delta Shuttle to Boston, Chicago, D.C. I mean, you know Terminal C at LaGuardia. Of course you do.
Of course.
Yeah. Quote, this is the Port Authority Chairman, Kevin O'Toole. All airport customers should rightly expect that policies which limit the pricing of food and beverages at concessions will be followed and enforced. Nobody should have to fork over such an exorbitant amount for a beer. Nobody has to, dude. Prices of concessions will be routinely monitored to ensure they are aligned with the regional marketplace. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so when you pay, what am I paying, $11 at Ice Soaps Park?
Yes.
Relax. It's kind of my point. What would you do? You bought a beer. You and Kyle both get a beer, and the bill comes back. That 28 and 28. That's $52 for those 2 beers.
I mean, we're too nice. But I would be like, is there a problem with? I would ask them. I'd probably ask them like, is there a problem here?
What would you say?
What's in this beer?
Would you say
This is magic beer?
we just got 2, and my bill is $52? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the guy
Because what
looks
they
at-
should do,
and they look at you, and go, yeah. Welcome to New York. Welcome to the airport. Welcome to LaGuardia. Welcome to
that's
Terminal
crazy.
C.
Yeah. I mean, I'm different. I want to make a huge scene. I just pay. But I think
I
they
would
should.
too.
I think they should warn customers though that prices are on the rise. Maybe.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. That'd
Hey,
be nice.
so just so you know, that beer, it went up a little more.
$27.
It's $27.80.
Because of the COVID.
Because that plus a 10
Inflation.
10%, and there's a 10% COVID
Inflation.
charge for the COVID. For the COVID. 28. What would you do? You order because
I would
nobody
pay
asked-
and then leave.
I don't know that I've ever sat down at a bar.
Because there's never prices either.
No,
'Cause
no,
that's the whole
unless
point.
they're the happy hour special.
Or no, they'll be like,
right?
hey, do you want to add a shot for
Yeah, do you want to add
$3
Yeah.
or whatever? You're like, you're always like, think about it. You're like, yeah,
kind of a
I'm
deal.
flying.
All right, but have you ever? I've never sat down at a bar and asked what the price of my drink was.
No, never.
And look, it could be
Well, especially at an airport.
Yeah,
It's not like
especially at airports.
it's like, oh, I'm gonna go over here for
Happy hour.
cheaper
Yeah,
beers.
no.
I got nowhere to go.
Yeah, no.
It's not like I'm going to Moe's Bar down the street. Yeah.
They're already short staffed. Beers are going up in price. It's crazy.
Ted's Hideaway, the place I told you about in South Beach, right?
Oh,
Right,
well, yeah. What would you get for $27 there?
Right? I'm drinking for a month.
A month there. You paid rent.
I
at the
just
bar.
I've never sat down and look. I mean, like all of you. I mean, you've been in some really nice places where you expect to pay $16 for a cocktail.
Of course.
And you've been in dumps where you expect to pay $2 for a draft beer, right? Whatever. But I never know what I'm paying. No idea. And then the bill comes and I throw my card and barely look at it and okay, what's the percentage on that? And I leave a tip.
Yeah. Airport and sporting events. You're just, 'cause as an avid sports fan and drinker, I'm like, okay, I know I'm paying when I go to the airport.
But I got 2 beers. We go to catch the flight. Hey, let me close out my tab. All right, here's your bill. $52 for 2 freaking Samuel Adams.
No.
I mean, what would it have been if you got like a Lagunitas? You know what I'm saying? Where's the limit? I don't know, man. Garcia sent me that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's beyond crazy.
27.
They're owned by the same person that owns that gas station by the airport.
How about that? What was that number?
Was it $7 or $8?
So
He's charging?
who's going there? I guess just to fill up your rental car? Is that kind of the thought process there?
Like, oh no, I forgot to fill up. Oh. Well, got to catch my flight.
This guy says
$8 a gallon.
This guy says, "Will this on the text line? Will this make more sober people who quit drinking?" I maybe. I imagine, but it was like going to Topgolf the other day with the kids who couldn't swing a golf club. I don't think this is gonna. I think they're gonna not want to play golf. They're just never gonna want to play golf again, right?
That place can add up too.
Yeah,
Top
quickly.
golf.
Yeah, that's right.
You're like, oh,
yeah, we
okay.
did a little.
You do a little.
We did a little 16. Actually, got out there. I don't know what I was expecting, but 16th birthday party. Addie had. I think we just had 6 kids out there the other day and just loaded up with food and nachos and tacos and chicken this and I mean just a bunch of little foods that came through. And it was
Pretzel bites in there?
Pretzel bites.
Gonna
Yeah,
have a good
100%
night.
the pretzel. But they loved the pretzel bites.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they loved those. Went quick. And a little pizza. Yeah.
We did Topgolf in Vegas.
Did you?
For as our rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, that's a good time. No, it's an absolute good time. How much of beers there? I bet they weren't $27.
No, they weren't $27.
Almost $28.
They were expensive.
I mean, they
but
might have been 10, but they.
It just because it was a Friday too, they just charged more for the bay
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
pool.
Well, that's what. I mean, look, you expect that.
Of course.
You expect you fly more on busy days. You pay more for a hotel during Balloon Fiesta. You're going to pay more for your bay at Topgolf on Friday than you are on Tuesday. Like I'm down with all that. $28 for a Samuel Adams, I'm not certain I'm down with. That's all I'm saying, bro. Part-time bro. All All right, Josh Sushan's coming up next. Voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes. Chris Bryant's on the Topes now. Hey, he's going to be here forever. No, he's not. Automating Balls and Strikes is now part of minor league baseball at the AAA level. So we'll talk to him coming up next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years.
Isotopes in Salt Lake City, 1045. Josh Sushan will crack the microphone from the Beehive State for the On Deck show. Day 2 of the automated balls and strikes in AAA baseball. Yesterday is when it all started. Chris Bryant is with the Isotopes. I just got a text from Ryan. Says Chris Bryant is the reason my son's name is Bryant. I think all that's cool. Josh Sushan joins us from Salt Lake City. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. I am fantastic.
You loving these day games on the road? So you get back after a night game. Is that the tough part of? Because it used to be they were getaway games, right? So it would be the end of a series. You'd be on the road. You'd be there for 2, 3, 4 nights, whatever it is. You pack up your stuff and you leave early. These are kind of in the middle of your week. Have you adjusted to these?
Well, I mean, I've been doing it enough years now that, you're kind of getting used to everything. Major League Baseball has set up a couple of new things for the minor leagues since they now control the minor leagues. For example, the reason why we started at 6:05 last night is that there is a minimum number of hours that must take place from the start of one game to another. So if you're going to play at 11:05 a.m. today, which we are, you could not play at 6:35 last night or 7:05. You had to play it at 6:05. Now, if you wanted to start today's game at noon, then you could have started last night at 7:05. Some teams have decided to make game 1 of a series, these morning games, because there's the travel day that's built in. Isotopes have not done that. We want to make it in the middle of a series. And there's also a rule that you're only allowed to do 2 of these morning games per year at home. And this is actually the 5th consecutive week that we are playing a morning game because we did one in Round Rock and Oklahoma City and now Salt Lake, and then we did one for each of the last 2 homestands. After today, we will not play another game that starts before noon until September when school's back in session.
I think everybody
That's when we go to
realizes
Texas.
Albuquerque Ice Tips are a great draw for noon games, and that's been documented for years. And so, do your Kids Day specials when Albuquerque comes to town. It makes sense because the kids get to learn how to spell Albuquerque, and it's a big educational piece for them. Hey, how was? Go ahead.
I was just going to quickly say, I think it's funny that here in Utah they're doing a big thing about say no to drugs and alcohol as part of like the big presentation, and then tomorrow is a Thirsty Thursday.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Because tomorrow's a marketing day. We will learn that cheap alcohol gets people into the ballpark to buy tickets.
Very diverse messages, Josh. You see. Hey, yesterday was Robo Strike Zone, so and I was looking at your Twitter. It sounds like it went as it was supposed to. You said that if you didn't know that the automated balls and strikes was in yesterday for the first time, you would not have seen a difference. And even if you did know, you said you didn't see a difference. It went the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, there wasn't any pitches that were 3 feet out of the strike zone that were called a strike. There wasn't, a pitch right down the middle that was called a ball. There wasn't. I know that, as they've been testing out this system for the last 6 weeks, and I heard that at least once when we were back home, there was a pitch that bounced in front of the plate.
That's crazy.
And then it bounced up enough that it clipped the strike zone, and it would have been called a strike. That was during testing last week. That did not happen at all yesterday. Certainly there were some borderline calls that batters disagreed with, that pitchers disagreed with. That's certainly going to happen if there's a human that's calling balls and strikes. The home plate umpire, there was never one time that I felt like the umpire was waiting to be told whether it was a ball or a strike, or I felt like I'm waiting and we're all waiting. It went really smooth. That's just one day, but it pretty much went the way that I think that Major League Baseball was hoping it would go.
Do you see a player look back at the umpire and umpire just shrug? It's like, don't look at me.
There was multiple times that a player looked back. I don't know if he was, like Alan Trehill's the one that really stood out. He had 3 different at-bats where there was a call that was borderline that went against him. And, I think Alan looked at the umpire like, really? And then looked up into the sky. His last at-bat, there was one pitch in particular. I called it a ball just without even waiting for the umpire because I didn't think it was close to the strike zone. It was called a strike. I went back and looked at it on the StatCast from Baseball Savant, and I would say that 1% of the baseball hit the strike zone, and that's all that matters. If it's any part of the baseball hits the strike zone, it doesn't have to be 50.1% or 51% or 10%. If just the millimeter of the ball hits the strike zone, then it's called a strike. And we'll see if that gets tweaked.
It should.
Certainly Allen was not very happy with that call. I thought it impacted all of his at-bats from some borderline calls. And so, again, we'll see how things get tweaked, but, that's how it went last night.
Josh, one of the things that you mentioned, too, and listening to the game last night, the flow of it, all of these things are designed to keep the game moving, and it does feel like as we learn and baseball tweaks these things, that the flow has been good with everything they put in so far.
Yes, that is correct. Let me add another thing about the strike zone. So the plate is 17 inches width, right, from inside corner to outside corner. An extra inch has been added to each end of that plate. So the strike zone is actually 19 inches, even though the plate is 17 inches. We'll see if that gets tweaked, if they decide. I don't know why. They didn't consult me on. All I can think of is that they want to see. They want to do tweaks. Now, this has been used in the Arizona Fall League in the past, and what I've read is that when the strike zone is a tiny bit wider, it increases balls in play. There's fewer walks, there's fewer strikeouts, there's more action. When the strike zone was a little bit higher and lower, that led to more walks and strikeouts and less action. So it's probably all part of tweaks. We'll see if that gets adjusted. I actually saw a document that the original strike zone was going to be 20 inches, and now it's 19 inches, so it would have been 1.5 inches on each side. Instead, it's 1 inch on each side. It's probably all part of, tweaking is all I can tell you.
Josh, Sushan is the voice of the Isotopes with us from Salt Lake City this morning, where the Topes will play the Bees, 10:45 here on the Sports Animal.
Josh, the conversations you've had with the players, there's a lot of probably, I don't know, we'll see. But what was the feeling that you've got leading up to this moment from the players about what they are now dealing with?
I would say it's mixed. You know, I asked Alan Trejo over the weekend before yesterday what he thought, and he was kind of on the fence. He didn't know. You know, he thought that the human element was something that's there. He feels like they even out over the course of the season. I asked Chris Bryant yesterday as part of the media scrum, and Chris said he wasn't sure. He wanted to see what it was like, but Chris actually made the point before yesterday's game that maybe it needs to be more than just a tiny little sliver of the ball hitting the strike zone in order for it to be called a strike. You know, I think it's really hard for everyone in society to separate what's best for me versus what's best for the sport. And so if you had calls that go against you initially with this system, you're probably not going to like it. And if you have calls that go for you in the system, you're probably going to like it a lot more. And so, and again, I think that's just natural human instinct. You know, when it comes to the strict enforcement of the pitch clock, I think that overwhelmingly people have liked it. I think that some players have been upset because they feel like they get rushed a little bit, especially if there's a pitch that's up and in and their adrenaline starts to flow a little bit, and they feel like they should have a little bit of time to step out and kind of catch their breath and get refocused before they have to get back in the strike zone. So, you know, I think that, you know, again, I have not talked to Theo Epstein and the decision makers in Major League Baseball, but I think you do have to separate what's best for the sport with what's best for one person, and is that person upset simply because it wasn't good for him?
Do you like it?
Do I like what? The automated ball strike?
Yes.
I don't want to make a decision after one day. I know this is, you know, you're supposed to have a hot take on Sports Talk Radio, but I want a larger sample size. I want to see what it's like in multiple cities with multiple umpiring crews. I want to see if, it seemed flawless from a technical standpoint here in Salt Lake. Is that going to be the case in Albuquerque? Is that going to be the case in Sugar Land in 2 weeks? Is that going to be the case in Las Vegas in 4 weeks? I want to see multiple times where you start to feel it a little bit more before I make a decision.
A few more minutes with Josh Suchon, the voice of the Isotopes, before he takes over at 10:45 this morning.
Josh, what's the feeling with Chris Bryant and getting some work? The players get to interact with him and, you know, just spend some days with the former National League MVP.
Yeah, it's always fun when you have any rehabber, especially someone who's got, you know, the credentials that Chris Bryant has. And, you know, yesterday he went 1 for 3. He grounded out. It was 107.5 off the bat when he grounded out. Then he had a weak ground ball that was booted, and then he had a clean single to left. He had no fly balls hit to him in left field. All he really did was just stand there and look into the sun and then pick up a grounder that was sent his way. So he didn't get a really good test in the outfield yesterday. He's the DH today. He's batting second. He's scheduled to play all 9 innings. Yesterday he played 6 innings. You know, I think it's always fun. You know, you're a minor leaguer. You walk out to the dugout to put your bats away, and all of a sudden you see that there's 9 reporters that are waiting to interview somebody, right. And you see that there's, you know, about 300 more people waiting to get autographs than are normally waiting to get autographs before a game. And so all that kind of stuff is fun. And Chris is such a down-to-earth human. You know, he's so great with everyone that he's there to talk to the guys, and he knows a lot of them just from playing college baseball and minor league baseball, not to mention spring training. You know, Chris went out of his way to say how he got into Utah on Monday, and he had played here. He spent an entire summer here playing for, I think it was called the Utah Generals or something like that, and he just drove all around the city just to see it and kind of go down memory lane about his summer, which he said that he really enjoyed here. So, yeah, it always adds an extra layer of fun when there's someone like Chris Bryant who's part of the game.
How long is he going to be down here? Any idea? I mean, they say
today's his last day.
This is it, and then he's going up. So
today's his last day. He'll fly back to Denver, and then he's as long as everything goes according to plan, no setbacks, he'll get reinstated before their game Friday. They have a day off tomorrow. He'll get reinstated Friday.
That's good. So we're what, a month and a half in now. We're hitting the end of May. And I know that there was a lot of talk early in the season from the Rockies, and we want to win at the AAA level. And you guys win one, lose one, lose two, win one. Is there a sense of urgency to start turning things around and playing better baseball? Do you feel with this club?
Yes, I do think that. I can tell you that when you look at the Rockies single A, low A, high A, double A teams, those teams are doing well. Those teams are winning, and I think they really want to start the emphasis on winning at the lower levels of the minor leagues. Once you get to AAA, it's really hard, and there's so many things that are out of your control because of call-ups and everything else. But yeah, they want to win. Clint Hurdle brought it up. Todd Hilton brought it up. Bill Schmidt brought it up. You know, the Chris
Yeah.
Forbes, who's the farm director, they brought it up. I can also tell you this, guys. For the same reason that it's hard for the Rockies to win on a regular basis because of the altitude, it's hard for the Isotopes to win. You're not going to sign a minor league free agent to come play in Albuquerque. It's really hard to do that. And a lot of teams that win at AAA, you look at the Oklahoma City Dodgers, for example. That's like almost every single player on that pitching staff has not just got some major league time, that has been successful in the major leagues. You're not going to get that many guys to sign when you got to pitch in Albuquerque and Denver. It's hard. It's really hard to sign those guys. So, but the bottom line is, yes, they want to win, and they need to win more often than they've been winning.
All right. The On Deck show comes your way at 10:45. How have the Bees been playing? I know they won last night 3-1. What kind of what have they been doing? Because this is the next 5 days in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, they've been similar to the Isotopes and win one, lose one, except that they've won a few more. They are 3 games over 500. There's a ton of parity in the Pacific Coast League. You subtract Oklahoma City and Round Rock, and those 2 teams are really good. Other than that, everyone's pretty much win one, lose one. So it's been a lot of parity. We'll see if the Topes can get it done, today.
All right, have a good call. We'll be listening. A. Marie will be producing for you, and then you get a night off in beautiful, raging Salt Lake City. Enjoy it. Thanks for the
I'll
time.
watch the Warriors tonight. It'll be fun.
You'll watch the Warriors tonight. See, how about that? That's kind of a treat for you, too.
Absolutely.
All right, enjoy it. Always appreciate the conversation, Josh. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the invitation.
Be well. Josh Suchon, the voice of the Isotopes, and as good as there is. So far, so good is basically what I heard. One day, one good.
Yeah. Let's see as it moves forward.
All right, when we come back, a local, in-state, all-state basketball player is a Lobo. Who's that? Just came out now. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute.
Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore, ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need
Was up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, I'm glad I could finally tell you about this. I think I teased this, Amory, 3-4 weeks ago. I remember saying, all right, tomorrow we'll have big news about a local Lobo basketball player, a local, and I've known this for, I want to say 4 weeks, at least 3, right? I mean, when did I tell you about this?
No, it's been a while.
And UNM basketball asked me to sit on it, and, please don't announce it, and that's fine. But they announced it today, so I guess we can, and I believe he'll be with us tomorrow. Mac Manzanares, who is an all-state, first-team all-state basketball player at Sandia Prep. In fact, he was the District 5 3A Player of the Year this last year. He averaged 22.4 points a game for the Sun Devils, 12.1 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Prep was in the quarterfinals this year, and last year they won it. As signed with the Lobos, he's going to be a walk-on, a non-scholarship player, 6'5", local addition to UNM. So there's, this, you think the Jordan Arroyo kind of thing, right? Is that kind of what comes to mind to you? Do you think more Clay Patterson or Jordan Arroyo walk on with this?
I've never seen him play.
Okay. I've told you I've seen Mac play a number of times. Mac's the kind of, first of all, a terrific person, terrific athlete. Mac won at the New Mexico Bowl last year. We did the first annual Michael Danoff Memorial Scholarship, and Mac won that. That's based on character and community involvement in athletics and academics and everything else. Just a great kid. And his dad, Ed, is co-hosted with me when you've been out, and is the former athletic director at Highlands and works in the UNM administration. But Mac has done this on his own now. Mac is a 6'5", first-team, all-state player, and a great kid. So hopefully we're working on Mac. I've been trying to get him on for, honestly, the last 3.5 weeks. I was like, well, no, wait till they announce it. We got to announce it. So they announced it today, and this is great news. And Richard Pitino's quote in the press release is, anytime we can add a first-team all-state player, it will be beneficial to our basketball program. If there's a player in Albuquerque or anywhere in the state of New Mexico that's good enough to help the Lobos, we need to get them. We feel like Mac can help our program, and we're excited about his addition, end quote. And obviously Mac, growing up here in Albuquerque, thrilled. I mean, how many did you when you played basketball in high school? Did you dream about playing for Lobos? Coming down the ramp, playing the pit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right before I went to El Dorado, Coach Flanagan was El Dorado, and that was my dream too. And then he went to coach the Lobos, but that was my dream to be a Lady Lobo.
Yeah.
I picked the number 21 because I wanted to be Miranda Sanchez my whole life.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
God bless her.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so that's down. 505-246-0610. If you want to bang in, you can. Hello, Terry.
Happy hump day to all of you guys today. from Sportswise, well, wait a minute, but when you were bringing up the price of drinks at LaGuardia, I now know the side hustle of a guy. We had him come out to give us an estimate to do some yard work, a little more extensive. And when we got the quote back, he goes, yeah, $6,000. Okay, so some projects, not a big deal. So we thought maybe we're in the twilight zone. Rod Sterling's going to hop out. Well, the next guy we have come out, and he goes, well, I have to do it in 2 parts. The first part will be $350, and the second part, $550. So I don't know if the first guy, sometimes I wish if somebody doesn't want to do a project, just say, I don't want to do it. But, from $6,000 down to under $1,000, sounds like, the price of a beer up there, at LaGuardia. So I just toss that in because sometimes, you definitely want to get an extra quote or two. For last little sports thing, for Phil, the PGA had said they didn't want a circus. So I do not know what he could have said or would have said to not make somebody else mad. I think he would have been accepted. I don't know how welcome he would have been, but I think they would accept him, defending champ and all that, and would put up with it. The last little tidbit was a little stirring was now Jack Nicklaus stirring the pot a little bit, saying he's upset that they took the tournament away from Trump's course, and he thought that wasn't fair. So that sounds a little more political than the other. But, Phil, I'm kind of like, it sounds mafioso-esque, as in what would he have said not to get his family or somebody in trouble. So I think he needs just to
do what he's doing.
His mouth shut, just do the other tour, and just move on and accept, he dug a hole and live in for a while, and maybe someday he can crawl out of it. But on that note, you guys have a great day. Marie, have a great call for the midday, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
See you,
Take
Tara.
care.
Thanks.
And
Bye-bye.
show tonight. At Revel.
Marie's performing at Revel tonight. What time?
7 p.m.
Be there.
Be there at 7 p.m. and the show will start.
Yeah, by tomorrow. Lobo Golf, 10th place. I just don't see a way that they're going to get to the number 5 spot right now. Little Rock and Charleston are at 14 over in the 5th spot. New Mexico in 10th spot, 28 over. They got to make up 14-plus strokes and climb over 6 teams. Still playing. And I just told you a story about $28 beers at LaGuardia. Edward says it got you beat. Attended a Luke Bryant concert in Vegas. A single drink for the lovely woman with me, $40. $40, my man.
Oh, wow.
And it was overly packed with ice. And Grady responded, and that's why your guy up in the village pre-games whenever possible, and if not, hits the post-game hard.
I respect that.
Which one?
The pre and the post game.
Do you? It's why there's like
tailgating?
Well, there's that, but there's camouflage flasks. Like, have you ever seen the binoculars? You put them around your neck, but actually the thing pulls off and it's a flask.
Yes.
Okay, people have that.
I've seen hats,
That's why
jackets.
people put them in there. Put them in there everywhere. Because $40 drink in Vegas to go see Luke Bryant, $40, dude. And again, you're never asking the price until you get the bill, and it's like, what?
There's a bunch of dive bars by Yankee Stadium. There's like the Dugout and stuff. Gosh, those are great bars. If everyone goes to a Yankee game ever in their life, go there.
Which
Pre-game there. It's called Dugout. It's right across the street from Yankee Stadium. Oh, man. Good cheap beers. Good accents.
Define cheap.
$5.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like a dive bar in the Bronx.
Yeah, it's hard to find a $5 beer in New York anywhere. Maybe next to the Yoo-Hoo stand, right there next to
Happy hours are really good there.
Yeah, Frankie over there with the Knishes. Knish, my.
If you're a day drinker, New York can be cheap.
All right. Well, relatively. It's all relative.
All relative.
Look, and New York can be spendy. Yeah, if you want to go around. All right, who you got tonight? We got Warriors. We got the Mavs. Who's winning game 1?
Golden State.
I'm on Golden State tonight, too.
Game 1, though.
You liking the Mavs?
They're not sweeping.
I'll go Golden State.
They're in Golden State, correct?
They're in San Francisco. That would be the Golden State.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. No,
They're in
yes.
San
They
Francisco.
are in Golden State. In the Golden State.
Taking the homer for game 1.
All right. What uniforms will the Warriors wear? Are you going with the black with the city on them? Are we going with the traditional blues? Are they going to wear home and away?
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style.